Hey guys, sitting here drinking some coffee, warming up with my morning, and I figure it's a good time to make some charcloth. You know, when you have a fire, it's a good time to prep for the next time you need a fire. You know, shit's harder when it's cold. So charcloth's pretty simple. It's a really old, really basic fire starting tool. Take an organic material and you put it in an anaerobic environment and apply heat. With the lack of oxygen, the material can't burn, so it carbonizes. It just chars like charcoal, right? So we take an organic material. Usually I use cotton pads. Today we're going to be using hemp rope. It's repurposed hemp rope that I rescued from the garbage. It's an old project that just never quite came to fruition, and we were making space. This was headed for the trash, and I was like, hey, instead of throwing that away, I'd like to set it on fire. So we're gonna prepare our tin. We're going to fill the tin, and then we're going to heat our material. Now the first step to make a charcloth is to create a container to char. So tins work great. Shout out to Mr. Moxie. You guys kick ass. Anyway, you want an Altoids tin, whatever. A tin you can open and close easily. Not something that you need to screw on or anything like that. So we've got our empty container, and you're gonna want to poke a hole. Do you see that there? Yeah, right there. You want to poke a hole in the side in an area where you can have the hole exposed to allow the smoke out, but not big enough to allow oxygen in. So we're gonna put our material in here and close it up just to where that hole is open, and then we're gonna stick it on the fire. We're gonna let it smoke. When it stops smoking, you're gonna take a stick and push the lid down. It'll close the hole. It'll prevent any oxygen from getting in and prevent our charcloth from burning while it's charring. So let's see what that looks like. So we got our old hemp necklace. This poor feller's seen better days. Let's see. Alright. So generally with charcloth, you want it to be occupying as much space in the tin as possible, because the more space there is, the more room there is for oxygen. And we don't want oxygen, because oxygen will burn, right? Primary source of fuel. So we cram that in there, kind of like that. And let's flop these guys in over here, just to get it good. Maybe that's a little too much. So you want the lid to be able to close, because we need to be able to cut off the O2 and prevent this from just bursting into flames, right? We got that in there. And we got our little hole there. Alright. So now we take that, we stick it on the fire. On the coals. Don't stick this on the fire. It'll just burn. Put it on the coals. You want steady heat. You want even heat, but you don't want flames, because flames just don't give a fuck. They'll eat your tin and they'll destroy your Charcloth. Double check that you've got your hole exposed. And take it down here. Set it on the flames. So now we sit and we wait. And all that radiant heat will come along and it'll cook that real good. So we'll put that down there. We got it on the coals. It's more or less avoiding the flames. And now we just wait for it to start to smoke. And we'll have smoke coming out of that little hole right there. And when the smoke stops, we close the lid all the way and let it cool down. And that's how you make Charcloth. And it makes flint and steel or ferro rod fire starting so much easier. Oh my goodness. You can definitely see here why we don't put it near open flame. Why you need good coals to do this. All this smoke coming off right here. If there were open flames, this would just be a little flame. The smoke would ignite and it would consume the fuel. So we need to wait a few more minutes and let that smoke kind of chill out a little bit. Now, as you can see, the smoke's settled down a little bit, still trickling out a little. So I added on a coal on top just to get, all the corners that might not be carbonated, carbonized. And here soon that the smoke coming out of that hole stopped, we'll squish it with a stick, close it off, and pull it off the heat. Alright. This guy stopped smoking. It moved it off the fire. It's coolish to the touch. And let's... And that guy... I think it could probably use a little more cooking. But it's nice and blackened. Looking good. And that's how you make Charcloth.